Hello, people of the internet.
Today we're going to be talking about work-life balance for the freelance musician. We are Tearing Out Recordings. I'm Nick.
I'm Sean.
And today we have Carlin Lee, our cool friend.
Hello.
Our local neighborhood handsome young person.
Pianist, composer, educator, band leader.
What does he not do?
Do we have a fifth?
Vlogger.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, a man who wears many hats. Carlin Lee.
So we're a music production duo. Basically, we help you get your songs from demo to stream ready. And if you want to see any information about Carlin, we have his links in the description as well, if you find him interesting. So, so in terms of scheduling and stuff like that, what are some of the systems that you have in place?
I mean, a lot of it is just like someone asks me to do something or I want to do something, so then I put it in my calendar, and if it doesn't fit in my calendar, then I don't get to do it. That's my system right now. I try to leave time for practice and rest and things like that in terms of
Do you actually schedule in blocks for practice and rest in your calendar?
I schedule in rest, but I don't schedule in practice.
I saw this one YouTuber, Ali Abdul, who he sends his friends a Calendly link. So whenever they want to schedule anything, he's like, here's my calendar, and then has them fill out a form.
See, I thought about doing that for when I'm setting up rehearsals with my band. I'm very close.
Oh, that makes sense.
That
with
makes
the band.
sense, yeah, because you have so many.
Because it's like an entity.
schedules.
Yeah, but not my friends.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I could see eventually, it's hard to, when's the last time we hung out?
right. That's true.
So,
Yeah.
it is hard to, get things to work out, but, it's already hard to get things to work out, so, why put a barrier of, a form as well?
Right,
I feel
yeah.
that adds more barrier than it gets rid of.
Yeah, I think doing that for personal stuff is a little bit too much. But
Yeah.
I mean, not for yourself, but when it comes to scheduling stuff with other people, it's oh, fill out this form. That's a bit ridiculous. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. I feel like it's a little pompous.
yeah.
I found that putting in blocks for practice helps me, but it's hard to remember to do that. Especially it's an everyday thing that's always changing.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember to schedule in that time. But I feel like it is helpful. I'm like, oh, what am I doing today? Oh, I have to practice now. Once it's in writing, it kind of solidifies it.
For me, when scheduling practice, it's more there's empty time in my calendar. And just
Right.
the empty spots in my calendar are basically the times to practice. And what I do when I get to practice, the first 10 minutes or 5 minutes, I'll map out what I'm going to do with the time that I have.
Yeah.
But you were saying, it's hard because things are always changing. What you need to practice changes. You'll
Right.
be working on this project and trying to get something into your playing, and suddenly you get a bunch of gigs.
Right.
You just have to learn music, and by the time you get to revisit that thing, you've lost progress.
Right, yeah,
So,
it's gone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been working on a Wynton Kelly solo for the last 4 months, because I'll work on it for a good 2 weeks, and then a month will just go by where it's crazy, and then I'll come back to it, well, I not forgot it, but it doesn't feel as good as I was trying to get it, and then yeah.
But then if you go back to it and you start doing it again, do you feel stronger then because it's more in your system?
Yeah, but I just wish I could just get something done, and that's the frustrating part about being a musician is the lack of routine,
Right.
and
Yeah.
predictability in your life. Yeah, that's just frustrating, but
Oh yeah,
it's part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now I work 2 part-time jobs. My weekends are pretty full, just teaching and stuff. So I have a good amount of time through the week right now that I can devote to, just composing or practicing. I've been really bad about doing this lately because I've said yes to too many things. And yeah, it's hard not to, I think. But yeah, I've said yes to too many projects, and now I feel like I'm kind of spreading myself a little bit too thin. I don't have time to focus on the music I want to write. Or,
Yeah, your own personal projects. Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't found much time for that lately. I think I just need to be better at, scheduling creative time in my schedule. Be okay, I'm gonna have this 4-hour block where I don't look at my phone, and I just focus on making something, whatever it may be, visual art. Or
But so
music.
because I'm familiar with your schedule, so because you have time in the middle of the week that's pretty wide open.
Yeah.
Do you try and make a little bit every day and then devote bigger chunks of time during that time when you can, or do you just save it all for that period where you have a lot of time?
I try to do a little bit every day
Okay.
because I find that is a lot more sustainable than doing okay, I'm gonna practice 4 hours, and then it's okay, then I don't practice the next couple days, because I used to be like that when I was younger, and I thought that was helpful. But as I got older, I realized that if you can just do something that is a little bit more consistent and it's
Yeah.
less amount of time, that's more worthwhile than doing a huge chunk at once and then not doing anything for the next couple days.
But there's also something to be said about deep work sessions where like you get into something and you focus on that, and like debatably half an hour might not be enough time to get into that, or it could be a skill that you train to be able to get into that deep work state.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
yeah, and I think you can have a very productive session like 15 minutes. You know, like as long as like I feel like if you get into that state and it's like, okay, I'm gonna focus on this one thing,
right.
and then like if I don't get it to the point where I'm satisfied with it, that's okay, because I have more time either later in the day or tomorrow where I could just like go back immediately to where I left off.
Right.
Instead of just like, okay, I'm gonna like jump into something new the next day, kind of thing.
About the deep workflow, kind of like that mentality that you have to reach. Yeah, no, I think that's definitely a skill to like not have to be at your instrument for an hour before like finally becoming productive. Like,
Right. Yeah.
and that's just a skill like you have to learn.
Yeah, that's
as you get older, and you have less time. For me, one of the barriers of doing that is like sometimes the work that we do is so varied, like throughout the day.
Yeah.
Even if like there's nothing super concrete on my calendar, like I probably have to do desk work on my computer, answering emails,
all this other stuff.
tidying up charts, things like that. Stuff that's related to music, but not like at my instrument or necessarily creating. And then there's learning music for gigs that you might not be that invested in. and then there's the personal practice that we were just talking about, and to kind of be able to switch gears and not exhaust yourself, because it's impossible to be in like that really, focused mindset for a long time. And of course that's another thing that you can train. Just being able to switch gears, that's something that it's just like by doing more of it you have to
right.
And as it's like you work part-time jobs, like we all teach privately, right? Or are you still teaching privately?
A little bit.
Okay. And just like being able to teach privately, and then as soon as your student like walks out the door, like get back to like your thing. It's like such a hard thing for me. Yeah.
Well, actually, but when I was teaching at NYU, I would have this thing where like, can I write this song in the space between my student being late? So like, I'd be there like 15 minutes early, and I was like, okay, they're gonna be 15 minutes late. I have half an hour to finish the song.
Oh wow.
And I feel like that actually, like that sort of pressure and that like turning off of judgment, that like just like, oh, I'm gonna just jump into this because I have to do this in this time. I feel like that actually helped me write some like pretty nice stuff. Like I think some stuff on the album we recorded was written like that.
Because then you can't like dwell on should that note resolve there or should it resolve there? You're just like
it's all
It's
impulse.
like that's fine and we're gonna go with it, and then it turns out like we can trust our instincts usually.
That's why also I think those like time blocks in your calendar are sometimes very helpful, because it's like, oh, I have to practice from 12 to 1, and then like let's say like worst case like you don't get that whole time, fine, but best case you like use that time like very wisely because you have that deadline and you're not worrying about like, oh, I need to change my socks or like all this other stuff in life. I don't know why I thought of
I have a full load of laundry that needs to get done.
Exactly. And then also best case is that like you're so excited that you just keep going and you like push past the hour and you get more done.
Yeah. No, I do think there's a lot of merit to carving out time, because otherwise, like with how our schedules are and like with being musicians and saying yes to every opportunity, it's like you'll just get any free time or practice time or space to create for yourself is just going to get eaten away by other things.
Right. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, and for me, especially because my schedule has been so hectic lately, it's like if I don't find the 15-20 minutes, then I just don't play, and that just feels terrible.
Yeah.
One of the part-time jobs I work is in Midtown, and I see a lot of like like very like young professional people. They work at firms and office jobs and stuff. I remember yesterday I see all these people and they're like around the same age as I am, and I'm like, damn, should I just get a real job?
that thought crosses my mind as well.
And then I think about it. It's not like a oh, like you have an office job, that sucks, because it's like that works for a lot of people, like, and it's good. It's like it's nice to have stability, it's nice to have benefits, it's nice to have all that.
Can you imagine?
No.
I don't know. And like I see that, and like that, even though it's like not meant to like put things in perspective, it kind of puts things in perspective for me, because it's like, okay, like that's like the other thing I could be doing, And it's not like a thing where it's like, oh, like I never want to do that, but it's like it kind of just like, oh, okay,
you have
like,
the choice.
Yeah, and it's like I feel pretty lucky to be able to get by with doing stuff that I like to do,
right?
Instead of serving like a sort of position where it's like I wouldn't be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carlin, for joining us.
Thank you
thank
for
you,
having
Carlin.
me, Sean and Nick.
Check out all of Carlin's links in the description. Send him a message on Instagram. Comment on how handsome he is.
At Carlin Lee.
With 3 E's.
If you like this, the next video is somewhere on the screen over here or something like that. And yeah, thanks for checking us out. If you want to work with us, link in the description. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Bye.